Hello there, great person, and welcome to Let's Read Chapter 12 of the Great Hunt, Book 2 in the Wheel of Time series. And actually, before we start, I want to do something shortly, whatever you say. Um, I want to address some comments you made because there are two comments or two kinds of comments in the last video I really liked, and I want to discuss a bit further because I think some things might have not been clear and something interesting was brought up. So first, Mike 2RR, you told me that you found it interesting that Rand was parroting Balzamon's sayings almost word for word when he was in the first book. Balzamon said that, yeah, don't trust the Aes Sedai, they will use you, they will make you their puppet, and they will just control you. And that's what Rand is saying all the time here, like a mantra to himself. And yeah, I agree, that's very interesting. Very, very, yeah, why does he do that? Is it is it because the Dark One has subconsciously influenced Ren more than he thought? Yeah, might be, because, yeah, don't trust the Aes Sedai. I get that, but still, the Aes Sedai are trying to prevent the Dark One from gaining power, you know? So it's, yeah, careful with that, Rand, be careful. But yeah, Mike, you're right. And also, Sarah Wolfian, anonymously opinionated, told me, yeah, Rand might not really realize that the Aes Sedai can't lie, or the Aes Sedai don't even know they are lying, perhaps, because, yeah, that's a bit unclear. So the Aes Sedai, they pretty, in my opinion, pretty clearly told Rand, so Moraine and Swan told Rand pretty clearly, you are the true dragon, you are not the false dragon. So I believe if Rand would think a bit, he would realize that. He would realize that they told him explicitly that he's the real dragon. There's not a lot of leeway. You know, when the Aes Sedai do their trickery, they do use phrases that, with a bit of thought, you could see why they would be why you could interpret them differently. But in this case, I think it was pretty clear. But I think what plays into the confusion and the yeah, into Ren's confusion and into the fact that he doesn't really seem to believe them, he doesn't trust them. Of course he doesn't currently, because he's, as Mike said, perhaps influenced by Balsamon subconsciously. But I kind of get where Ren is coming from. So when they told him it was a shock, was something completely new that he would never have imagined. So he thought he was just a normal channeler, but no, they told him he's the dragon. So he's like overloaded with information, and it's all yeah, it's probably like very, very life changing experience he's had. And then to then think clearly about the exact words that Aes Sedai have told him, yeah, I mean, I get it. I wouldn't have remembered it either, and I've gotten almost eidetic memory, so it's very hard, I think, to remember stuff when you're under stress, when you don't trust the people that are talking to you, and that's hard. So in my head canon, and I can't really say more than that. So in my head canon, Rand did not get it with the truth because just didn't think about it, because it was so traumatizing to him to hear all that. So that's my head canon. Because if he thought a bit about it, and if he knew, because we don't really know whether he knows that Aes Sedai can't lie, I'm not sure it was brought up to him. And so, yeah, I will give him the benefit of the doubt. And of course, you can always say he was just traumatized. He was in shock. It was overwhelming. He was not thinking straight, and he didn't really hear what they said. And I get it. So, but anyway, let's get to chapter 12. Woven in the pattern. And this symbol is the Aes Sedai tier again, the white tier. And let's see who we get to follow today. It's a Gwen. Fine, fine, very fine. Very, very good choice, Jordan. A very good choice for a chapter perspective, because we have not had a lot of a Gwen, and more of a Gwen is always good. Okay, so we get more information. We finally get to know, or I mean, you knew, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. I didn't remember where Bela was, but yeah, she's still with Egwene. She's still carrying Egwene around, and Egwene's with the Aes Sedai, with the Emerald Seed, and they're together. And she probably will do stuff now. Let's see what she does. Will she interact with Swan, with Moraine, with Nynaeve? Let's see. Okay, they still talk about the arrow. Yeah, we don't know, but I think it's reasonable to assume that Rand was the target of the arrow, and we've only seen it from Rand's perspective, of course. But to be fair, that's a reasonable assumption, I think, by Rand, that he thinks it was meant for him. And so I think the Emerald Seed probably knows as well that it wasn't meant for her, but the others don't. So yeah. Okay. So Swan is currently in her palanquin, and she talks to Agelmar, and she tells him basically, yeah, there was an attempt on my life, but I have to go back to Tarvalon because I've got a very, very, very important quest. Almost as or equally as important as the one that Ingtar is on right now. And what is that quest? Do we know? Let me think. Let me think. So, yeah, I mean, I get that she wants to go back, perhaps to train Nynaeve and Gwen, but that's probably not her priority. She just wants to go back and digest the stuff that was said to her. Yeah, perhaps she even wants to get more time with Varen, because now Varen's part of their little conspiracy, so she might want some more time with her. Yeah, and the ambulance seat basically tells us there have been attempts on my life, and yeah, don't bother with it because we will leave now, and if you look for him it will take time and we don't have time. Reminds me a bit of the president. Like, president has all the guards, and president, he or she wants to be protected, and if they're not they'll die, and it's bad, but they will just they live with that fear. That's like in the job description, unfortunately, which is very, very sad in a way. But yeah, she knows what who she is in a way, in that she knows what her position is, and that that's the risk she's taken by accepting the position. Can you accept it? Is it do you vote it? I think you vote for who's gonna be the Emerald seat, but yeah, it's a bit. Can you say no? I don't know. Perhaps she could have said no, but she did not because she knew the prophecy and she knew that it was important to find the dragon reborn, and yeah, so we know that. Yeah, and she's looking at Gwen and Nynaeve because yeah, Moraine probably told her, yeah, Gwen is as powerful as you, and Nynaeve is. I mean, we know that she did, and Nynaeve is more powerful than you probably if she's trained. Yeah. Oh, Nynaeve is taking her hand. Yeah. Ah, I like the dialogue. Yes, I sense a fine spark in each of them. But what will kindle from it? That's the question, isn't it? Yeah, what will they be? What will become of them? Nynaeve is probably gonna have some problems with Moraine down the line. I think that was pretty clear. From when she was with Lan and had her was given the ring and had her thoughts. And Gwen, yeah, she's don't know. In the last book, she seemed like more naive and compliant than I thought she was from her perspective last chapter. So perhaps this will tell us more about her perspective as well. Ah, and the ambulance looks at them as if they were tools. They probably are to her. Okay, so they've got a weird ritual with a silver chalice. I don't know what that means, but yeah, so Egelmar is giving the ambulance this silver chalice. So good for you. I hope you did your traditions well. Yeah, and they're sent off with great fanfare, and they are like heroes leaving the city after slaying the dragon. That's good. Yeah. Yeah, and Nynaeve says, "There's nothing we can do about Ren leaving." Not yet. And she looks at Moraine. Yeah, she's gonna attempt to kill her, I think. Down the line she is. Okay, so we get a bit of a glimpse at the Aes Sedai again. The red ones don't have any waters when they camp, and it's quite lonely. And the green ones have quite some. So yeah, they're having a party there. And I think that was adapted in episode 4. So they did a great job at this. Oh, Lan took Nynaeve away into the night. Very nice, man. Okay, so Moraine talks to every Aes Sedai except for the red ones. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense, but what is her plan? Yeah, Nynaeve really doesn't like Moraine. She says, "I believe she's done with us when she's dead, or we are." She is sly, that one, yeah. What is gonna happen between them? Set up so well. Oh, I think it's not said outright, but I think Varen came to their tent. Let's see if it's Varen. Yeah, I am Varen Methwin. So, oh god, Methwin, or I'm probably mispronouncing it. It's probably pronounced math win because math and mathematics are great and they are a win. Yeah, and Varen tells them, "Yeah, you've got potential. You've got potential." Oh, she's gonna teach a Gwen. Oh, that's good. That's good. That's good. How's the teaching gonna go? Okay, so they're now sitting down. What are they gonna do? Okay, so basically Varen says, "Yeah, you're in danger of burning up," and Gwen says, "No, I've got some lessons from Moraine's die." So perhaps Varen's better in teaching. I mean, naturally, it's probably. I think the Brown probably teach, don't they? Oh, okay. So Nynaeve and Egwene have both channeled, but I think it is implied by Varen that Nynaeve managed on her own to, I don't know what do you how do you say it, suppress the burning up? I don't know, but she at least fended it off a bit on her own, which is pretty impressive. Okay, so we've got a new word. It's called wilders. Wilders are people or women who channel on their own without teaching and without being taught, even though it's unstable AF. Okay. Yeah, okay. So Nynaeve has probably built an subconscious wall to fend off against the one power that she is trying to channel sometimes subconsciously. And that's common, I think. At least that's what Varen says. And yeah, so I mean that makes sense. Otherwise, Nynaeve would have probably channeled a lot more if she's so talented. Okay, so they call having potential to become an Aes Sedai having the seed, and that again harkens back to this plant-like not storytelling, plant-like myth making that Jordan's doing here, like with the Avendasora, with the Green Man, with the what was the other thing? Something else was there. It also had to do with yeah, the seed of the hammer when they talked about Arthur Hawkwing's um the people that came after him from his bloodline. I think that was also there are many plant-like metaphors here, and it seems to be linked with the one power. Perhaps most of the time, I mean, Arthur Hawkwing stuff probably doesn't, but the other stuff, yeah, might be. Oh, okay. So normally they are led to channel, and Gwen was very eager to do it and did a lot of stuff for herself, and that's why she's special as well. And Moraine was that way as well. So I hope after what, I don't know, in 3 or 4 years when we read the new Spring, last book we will read in the series, we will probably find out how Moraine got to channel. But yeah, she seems to have been eager as well. Okay, so the difference between Varen and Moraine is Moraine only tells you something if you need to know it, and Varen just wants to know everything. Which makes me like Varen a bit more, but I like both of them a lot. Okay, so yeah, okay, so you have to want it. It's willpower. Channel is to have the willpower to channel. Ah, interesting, interesting, interesting. So Varen tells Egwene that she learned to channel, but it's like she only learned to run up the hill but not down after that. So her instinct taught her some stuff, but it was not enough. There is something she's missing. Is it like stepping away from it, perhaps? Yeah, 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 yeah. Sooner or later, you're going to fall if you don't learn to rest of it. The rest of it, yeah. Yeah. So the danger Gwen has with that is that she will loosen the power and won't be able to contain it. Yeah, that would be bad. So it's a bit like the one guy who channeled and smashed down all his city. Yeah. Okay, so we got a new character, Sheriam, and she's the teacher of the novices. And until they get there, Varen or one of her sisters will teach Egwene and Nynaeve for that matter to channel and to not go rampant with the channeling. Oh wow! It should only be a little training for you to be raised to accept it. That's what Varen says to Nynaeve. So Nynaeve is yeah, I mean she's a prodigy, isn't she? Okay. So they explain, or Varen explains to us what the difference between a novice channeler and an accepted channeler is. Novice is just doing as they are told. Probably kind of like a Gwen, like you want to know stuff, and that's, I mean, from an educational psychology point of view, it's what you do in the beginning. You teach processes and patterns that are useful to the children or to the students, whatever, and you do it book by the book. You just teach them the stuff that has worked, so to speak, or the formulas that are very easy and that you can learn, and it's just going down the path everyone has gone down. And there is a point during, at least during university, where you start to question things, read on your own, read up on stuff, where you start to form your own ideas, where you even perhaps debate with your teachers, of course healthily, and there's that point when you when you develop your own opinion on stuff, and I really like that they do it here. So except it seems to be like a master's student, and the other thing, like the novice, is the bachelor student. At least that's what my estimate would be from experience. Okay, so yeah, now Varen tells Egwene, yeah, close your eyes, and then she's and of course Egwene doesn't hear it because only hears it because her eyes are closed, and it's like, Nynaeve, could you please close your eyes as well? And you have to close your eyes. Ah, okay. So they're talking about the void and the but. So the difference between Rand and the Aes Sedai is the Aes Sedai use a but, which is earth, basically, I guess, and the guys use, or Rand uses fire, which is fire. So interesting. Ah, okay, and you have to surrender to the power because before you channel. You can't just control it; it controls you first, and you have to. Yeah, it almost seems like it's a symbiotic relationship. Interesting thought. No, Baron, no. Oh, no. Oh my god, this is written so well. So Nynaeve's like, yeah, I don't feel like a flower. I'm so edgy. I'm so edgy. I'm a thorn bush. Yeah, I'm so edgy. You know? And Varen says, okay, you wanna leave? But the novices they have to scrub the toilets, the floors. The accepted don't. And Nynaeve's like, I think I'll stay. I think I will stay. Oh, Nynaeve. Yeah, and Egwene will try more, and Egwene is trained, and Nynaeve. Yeah, they are both trained. I like that. Oh, and yeah, Egwene wants Moraine to teach her again, and not Varen. But yeah, I mean, of luck. Yeah, Nynaeve, something's going on with Nynaeve. I guess she's probably starting to do it, but she doesn't want to admit it. Not to Varen, not to Egwene, and not to herself, perhaps even, and that might block her off as well. Yeah. Yeah, now Egwene is there. They stayed up late, and suddenly there is a situation where Egwene thinks that Nynaeve has reached a point where she can actually channel touch something because of Varen's reaction. Let's see what she does. Is Egwene just? I'm sorry. Is Nynaeve just gonna like burn up? Not burn. That's the boy stuff. Like do a landslide on the whole camp. Oh. Oh, she did put things on fire. It was a joke. I just wanted to make a joke. Okay, so Nynaeve used fire. Probably not important. Probably not important, but okay, okay. So she managed to use the one power, and she managed to use a power that is more the Sidon side. Okay, I would have. I'm sorry, I would have not expected that. Okay, so Nynaeve was angry. Why? She had a fire in her head because she was angry and it burned. Yeah. Oh, okay. So Varen is like, ah, you did a fire. Why are you so serious? Are you ill? Yeah. Yeah, she has to rest. They all have to rest. I mean, it's late. Better take a rest. Yeah, and using the power has to grow, and the more you try it, the more you are able to channel it. I'm imagining there's like a limit. So everyone has probably got a personal limit, and if they reach that, they won't really go farther. Yeah. And Nynaeve is telling Egwene that she's not frightened after Egwene asks her, but yeah, she is. Because power to create and destroy is very, very, very complex and probably very frightening. And I guess that Nynaeve is like she's the healer woman, so she doesn't want to destroy. At least not yet. I mean, who knows where she will go? She wants to destroy Moraine, but yeah. Ooh, this is dangerous. I don't like this. So Gwen thinks about Moraine, and this is what she thinks. Moraine was proof to her that not all Aes Sedai were like the Tales, cold manipulators and merciless destroyers, breakers of the world. She knew now that those, at least, the breakers of the world, had been male Aes Sedai when there were such in the Age of Legends, but it did not help a great deal. Yeah, that's not a good thought. Be careful, Gwen. Don't get lured in. Okay, now we get more names of Aes Sedai. Alviaren, Alana Mosvani. Oh, she seems jolly. Yeah, Alana was there. Ooh, Alana is asking about Trent and Perrin and Matt. Yeah, she probably did. Oh, Leandrin came and taught them. Yeah, she doesn't want to teach them. Yeah, whatever. Leandrin is a bee. Wow, Nynaeve just threw her out. It's a. I mean, they had their quarrels in the show, but in the show, Leandrin wanted to get Nynaeve, but here Nynaeve just said, "F you, get out of my tent, you, you bad person." Oh, they're now near Erenin, the river Erenin. Are they close to the others? Is there going to be an unreal ghost woman again? Okay, okay. So Egwene starts to dream about Ren and she's starting to have nightmares, and now she's going to ask them, the Aes Sedai, what does that mean? Oh, no, 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 she doesn't. I did not read the sentence to its completion. She says, Egwene says, "You seen Moraine?" But I think no one comes. So they are at Meadow now. Let's see what Meadow is. Okay, so Egwene now finds Anaya who feels like home, a woman who feels like home. And she's an Aes Sedai as well. Okay. Okay, Moraine is gone. Where's she gone to? Oh, so she's got a secret mission again? Is she gone for good? And Nynaeve is already on the River Queen, yeah. I don't know, yeah. Okay. Oh, and Nynaeve and Egwene will be traveling with the Emerald Seed herself, yeah. Moraine isn't on the ship, girl. She's gone. 2 days gone. The Emerald Seed is not amused. Yeah, I mean, we know that they planned it, but yeah. Oh, first Moraine vanishes with Len, then Leandrin right on Moraine's heels. That's gonna be bad. And then Varen, none of them with so much as a word. So it's like Moraine and Len, and then came Leandrin, and then came Varen. Yeah. Oh, and Varen does have a warder. He's called Thomas. Okay, so the Emerald Seed is pissed because they all left. I don't know if Moraine's part is something that really pisses her off because she might act that, but she's not amused about Leandrin probably because that might foil her plans. And yeah, she wants to call up the winds again, but that did destruction last time. So yeah, let's see what that makes. Oh wow, she says Anaya that Rand in trouble. What's she gonna do? Is she gonna know or notice something? Okay, so now she tells her about the dream. There had been a man with a mask over his face and fire in place of his eyes. That is probably the Dark One or Bathal, Bathalzamon, whatever his the Aginor fellow, the one that was with the Aginor, Bathamael, but probably the Dark One. Yeah, and she like intruded into his world. Okay, and the Forsaken woman that was the ex-wife or whatever of Luce Theron, the ex-girlfriend, whatever, she is probably standing. I mean, it's an evil woman. Who's it gonna be? So she's standing above Rand in her dream. Yeah, and this is a trap laid out for Rand. Okay, we kind of know that, but let's see how far it reaches. Yeah, very bad. Okay, so Elena had been interested in Rand too, yeah, and Leandrin had been, but in a negative way, so yeah. Okay, so she doesn't tell Anaya. Good. You may be a dreamer. It is a small chance, child, but we haven't had one of those in 400 or 500 years, and dreaming is close linked to foretelling. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. If you really can dream, it may be that you can foretell as well. That would be a thing in the red's eye. But a lady can foretell as well. Why would they be pissed? Did your dream indicate what kind of danger? He just vanished and I felt danger and evil. I felt it even before he vanished. I can still feel it. Well, we will talk about it more later. Yeah, that's gonna be bad. That's weird. Ayana is just suddenly cursing at some random villager and leaving Egwene behind. Either she's not taking seriously or she's got a counterplot. Or she's like on Leandrin's side. I don't even know if that's a side, but yeah. Yeah. Now Gwen is going for the Red Queen, and again she says like, "I will get you out of trouble, or I will skin your life if you don't manage to stay out of trouble." Yeah, yeah, yeah. So we got more about the channeling stuff a bit. It's the void and the rose, and not the void and the fire. And Nynaeve did. Oh, did Nynaeve know it from Tam? Did Tam tell her as well to focus on the void and the flame? I mean, I know she didn't tell us. I know. Don't get me wrong. I know that she never implied that Tem told her anything. But it's a bit curious that she set something on fire when that's a male thing. And I know she's powerful. Might imply that she's so powerful that she can already touch the male aspect. I mean, the things that males can normally do better. And yeah. And Varen's been back. I'm glad. I love Varen. And it makes sense. I wonder whether the brown. No, it's not that. The brown Adra are not teaching the novices, at least not all of them, because Leandrin and others were teaching them as well. And they all had their own agendas. They all taught them, and Leandrin really taught them. No, she didn't, but she wanted to know stuff, and yeah. What a lovely chapter again. It's a bit more calm. It was a bit more world building, and I liked that as well. It was very fine change from Rand's very bad horror chapter. So um yeah, let's see what we will what chapter we will get Saturday, because tomorrow is Tower of God Day, and you should watch my reaction to that too, because it's a great story. And I don't know yet what episode it will be because I haven't watched it, but I will do so tomorrow. And yeah, the day after that, on Saturday, the next chapter reading will be done, and I will release it. And I hope it's gonna be a great chapter again. But knowing this book, it's gonna be marvelous. And yeah, I hope that you have a great day. If you did like this, consider liking, subscribing, sharing to other fans, perhaps, because I don't know, it helps a bit, and we might get to 1,000 this year, probably, but it'd be nice to do so and grow the community, have some fun with the Wheel of Time and other stuff. But I mean, you already know that, and yeah, whatever. I hope you have a very great day, and take care of yourself, please. Bye.